It seems like everything that Netflix touches turns to gold, but sadly sometimes their original movies are actually a huge flop. Here are some of the worst Netflix original movies. Secret Obsession. This film isn't very old, but already has been displeased by many of its viewers. Secret Obsession follows Jennifer, played by Brenda Song, who is attacked one night. When she recovers, she can't remember anything before the attack, but her husband is thankfully there and takes her home. Jennifer is unaware that her husband is actually her secret stalker, and she's now living with him believing that he is her husband. The movie has great potential, although a typical plotline. It could have had some great thriller moments, but instead you spend the whole time wondering why so many people are so stupid. So many people were excited about Secret Obsession, yet somehow it didn't manage to meet anybody's expectations. The Open House. Horrors are pretty hard to get right, and of course it depends on what type of scares people enjoy. The Open House just doesn't seem to hit any type of mark whatsoever, and it's quite frankly a little bit boring. The story follows a teenager and his mother as they move to a new house after a tragedy, only to be met by mysterious events. The family knows that something just isn't right, and they're met with paranormal threats. This film struggles to keep your interest, and in comparison to other horror movies of a similar plotline, it's pretty poor. Definitely not worth a watch. Extinction. This film requires your undivided attention, as Extinction is quite a confusing plotline, meaning you can't look at your phone. A man keeps dreaming of loss, but what he doesn't realise that his dreams aren't just dreams, but premonitions, and the planet starts to be attacked. The family has to understand who is invading them in order to attempt to survive. Again, this is another film that had massive potential. Extinction looked almost as exciting as Independence Day, but sadly didn't live up to anybody's expectations. The film was interesting, but just isn't interesting enough to recommend. The Last Summer. It seemed like Netflix caught on to the success of their recent teenage rom-coms, including The Kissing Booth and To All the Boys I've Loved Before, but The Last Summer massively missed the mark. The film, unlike many successful plotlines, follows a number of teenagers whose lives intertwine in one way or another. The teenagers are graduating from high school and wondering what's next for them. There are some plot lists between the relationships they make, both romantic and platonic, but the story seems to be a bit lackluster. The story doesn't hook you in, so to say, and you most probably find yourself not rooting for any of the relationships at all. This one definitely could have been better, Netflix. How It Ends. Another apocalyptic style movie from Netflix, and yet they still can't get them right. How It Ends follows a man trying to get home to his pregnant fiancée after a mysterious event hits the country and everything turns into complete and utter chaos. Forrest Whitaker stars in this film, and even he couldn't save it. The movie attempts to be sci-fi blockbuster with extraordinary weather and no power and a lack of understanding as to why the event is happening, but the film manages to build up suspense only to be let down. Instead of an action-packed 2 hours, we instead received a road trip with lots of bad things happening around them. The film leaves you with more questions than answers. The title of the film, I think, in fact, should be We Don't Know How It Ends. Did you enjoy any of the films that we just spoke about? Why not leave your thoughts in the comments and make sure you subscribe and hit that bell.